I'm Debbie Berzer with Watch Kansas, and today I have David French, who is a House of Representatives in the state of Kansas. He's a representative for the 40th District out of Lansing and Leavenworth. Thank you, David, for coming today.
Thank you, Debbie, for having me.
You're welcome. We discussed this topic, and this is something I'm very interested in wanting to just pick your brains about. In the coming election in 2022, what is the foreseeable future of the governor's race, of taking back that seat for the GOP?
That is an excellent question, Debbie, and one that I am really concerned about. To me, the most important election next year is for the governor's seat. We've got a Democrat governor that's been in there now for 3 years, and she's been probably the most incompetent governor I've ever been associated with. She has done so many things that just don't make sense, that hurt Kansans, that hurt Kansas businesses. Other than her Democrat cronies, I'm not sure who she's helped more. But the fact is, she needs to go. And Republicans, starting right now, probably should have started last week, should be focused on who they're going to have running against her in 2022. It is, again, I think, the most important election we have coming up. We are still a red state. Republicans still control the state. We've won almost all the statewide elections in the last few years, but somehow we ended up with a Democrat governor. And that is a question that should be asked of every Republican, is how we let that happen. And I have a feeling I know. I have a feeling that the reason that we have a Democrat governor right now is because we as Republicans think that we don't have to come together, that we can act separately, we can choose our favorite candidates, and then if they don't win, if they don't get to run in the general election, then we can just say, well, my guy didn't win, so I'm not going to support the other guy. We can't do that anymore. We don't have the majority in this state that we used to have, where you can just say, okay, my candidate didn't win this time, so I'm going to sit this election out. We've got to be able to pull together, support your candidates. We have a great bench in this state, great Republicans that any of them could be great governors, much better than the current one we have now. So you need to support those that you really like. In the primary, the primary is going to be full. It's going to be, I would be willing to guess, 6, 8, maybe 10 people running for governor for GOP in the primary next year. So you're going to find one that you really like, that talks to you and that you can agree with. And so you need to support them, get on their bandwagon. But as soon as that primary is over, if your candidate didn't win, you've got to get off that bandwagon and get on the other one. But if you don't get on that bandwagon and carry that candidate, our nominee, to the finish line, we're going to get 4 more years of Laura Kelly as our governor. And I'm telling you, this state cannot afford 4 more years of Laura Kelly. She has got to go. And the only way that's going to happen is if we Republicans, all Republicans, put down our differences and come together in November of 2022 and elect our nominee.
Well said. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any ideas as to who might be coming out for the race for the GOP?
Like I said, I think we're going to have a whole basket
That's a
full.
lot of you.
A whole basket full of candidates. They won't all survive until the primaries. Some of them they'll realize they don't have a chance and they'll drop out. But I think starting early next year, we could have 8 to 10 candidates.
Wow.
Right now, we have 2 that have declared.
Okay.
Our Attorney General, Derek Schmidt, has declared he is running. And then Jeff Collier, who was the last Republican governor, 3 years ago, and Governor Brownback resigned, and he was the lieutenant governor. He became governor for about, I think it was 8 months, and did a good job for us, and actually ran for governor against Chris Kobach.
Okay. Yes.
Chris beat him barely. It was a really tight race, and I think that's one of the reasons we lost in the general, because it was such a contentious battle between the two candidates, the current governor and the Secretary of State, that it basically divided the party. And in such, we ended up not getting everybody on board for the general election. So I think those two are already committed. I know of at least 4 or 5 others that haven't declared, but have been putting out feelers, see what kind of possibilities they might have. And there's some, like I said, our bench is strong. We have a good 6, 8 people that I would vote for any of them. But the bottom line is, next November, I don't care who our candidate is, I'm going to be voting for him. It may be the worst Republican candidate that we've ever had, but I'm telling you, whoever it is, it's better than Laura Kelly. And she's already said she's running again, and we've got to make sure that that doesn't happen, that she does not win re-election. And so I encourage all my fellow Republicans, get out, support your candidates for the primary, but after the primary, it's only one team.
Yes.
And that's all going forward to November with whoever that nominee is that comes out of the primary. If we don't do that, then we're going to get 4 more years of Laura Kelly, and I may not be here. So I encourage all my fellow Republicans, let's start now. Start now looking for our candidate. And we'll see what happens. Next August is going to be interesting.
Yes, thank you. But I think that one of the main things that you have said is, after August, after that primary, we need to come together as the GOP Republican group, the grand old party in Kansas,
Yep.
and elect whoever was slated on that ballot that came out the winners in the primary. Very important that we do that.
We can only have one nominee, and we've got to go forward with whoever that is and not hold any grudges. Primaries get pretty dirty. They get pretty high level energy, and people have got to get over that quickly after the primary. We've got to get over all of that and hop on board and get with whoever our nominee is and get them elected.
Thank you. Very wise words. Again, I'm Debbie Berzer. I'm here with Watch Kansas and David French out of Lansing, Leavenworth. He's the 40th District House of Representatives in the state of Kansas. And I want to thank you very much for meeting me and having this nice visit.
Thank you, Debbie, and thanks to Watch Kansas, a great, great organization.
Thank you.